Yeah, at this recent Rolling Loud, they actually added an age limit.
Like, at least how old or
18.
Like, at least 18.
At least 18, yeah.
I thought it was an age limit for like how old you could be. It's like, all right.
Oh no.
Dad, like if you're 30 years old, you do not belong here. Like it's like, grow the fuck up, man. Like, you're done with concerts. Like, I mainly go because I feel like it just keeps me young.
Yo, you're old as fuck. God damn. It keeps me young.
Dude, I think your job makes you feel old.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Because I'm 25 and I feel old doing this job.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Laced Up Podcast.
Are we being trolled right now, Mike? What the fuck?
Can I walk off right now?
Put that on a poster. Whoa! No, now it's just an all-star game right now.
You're such a bully.
You don't deserve LeBron James, all right? It's insane.
And you deserve exactly what happened to Chicago over the past decade.
So how'd you and your ex-girlfriend break up?
Bro!
Kidding.
Was it because you were bad at basketball?
Yeah.
Yes!
From Zion, a trailer in the one-handed flush.
I will lie to you and smack you. Yo, what the hell?
I get called out for my fandom. I get called a schmuck. What's going on, guys? Flight Mike here. Welcome back to the Laced Up Podcast. I'm here with my boy Get Like Coop. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat for you today. Introducing my man, the Tan Superman. He's almost at 1 million subscribers. One of my favorite YouTubers. Jamari, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Mike? Good to finally talk to you, man.
Yeah, really good to talk to you, man. It's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for taking my podcast virginity.
This is your first pod?
Yeah, like not. I mean, I've done my own podcast, but I've never done anyone else's. So
yeah,
yes,
you were telling me you were trying to get into the podcasting game.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a couple podcasts with like different friends, but I'm looking for like a more permanent co-host, like in-person co-host.
Yeah, I believe it or not, man. Get Like Coop was actually the person that first introduced me to your content.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
The algo was like showing you mad love. I was getting recommended your videos like left and right. I was like, fuck it, let's just see what he's got. And like the first video I watched, I was like, I don't know, like this is good shit. Like your videos are like chill to where like you could just watch them, and you could kind of watch them with anybody. You could be BSing. You could just throw it in the background. Like it's good content, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I checked out all y'all's stuff last night. I was watching podcast clips. I mean, I see them sometimes. Like I watch y'all's clips channel sometimes, but I was really like watching like the OnlyFans one and shit, and fucking I was dying laughing.
So what's your opinion on that? You think Flight Mike should go for it or like what?
Oh my God, no,
man.
Oh yeah, I'm just curious.
The pro frontal? I don't know, man. Maybe so. How big of a bag realistically would y'all need to be showing your piece online?
Damn. So is my face in it as well as my piece, or is it just my piece?
Nah, it's everything. But
Everything.
the salary's guaranteed for 5 years.
For 5 years? To
Yeah.
be honest, man. I don't think any amount of money would get me to show my piece online. Like I come from a very like judgmental culture and community, and just having pictures of me like, and this is nothing against people that do it, you know, it's just having pictures of my piece out there on the internet. Like if there isn't already pictures of my piece out there on the internet already, wouldn't really be a good look for me for the rest of my life. I wouldn't want Mike Jr. to be like, "Hey, Daddy, your Johnson's on it." Like
Mike Jr., you got the name planned out already, bro? Mike Jr. It's like a Nickelodeon show. So like with like that with that stuff, like I don't know, bro. Like I'm kind of sensitive. I can't even lie. Like sometimes, like you know, comments get to me on YouTube, so I can't imagine like just having like my stuff out there, and you know, just having me out there like that and seeing like what everybody has to say. Like man, I'd be broken down in like a week, you know.
Yeah, maybe so, man. Shit.
Bro, that I didn't even think about that part. Can you just imagine, like, you finally, summon up the courage and you finally post your Johnson online, and like you get a bunch of comments saying, "Damn, that's it." Like,
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
And like
That's
you
tough.
get,
I know people are making money though, man. People are making money. I don't think it could be me, but
Oh yeah, the bags are crazy. There's better ways to make bags on the internet too. I mean, respectfully, like, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people like going the Twitch route. Have you seen like the just chatting section on Twitch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean all the lady streamers?
Have you seen the ear microphone?
Yeah, I've seen that.
The-
and the hot tub streams and all that shit.
do they still do the hot tub streams? Is that still a thing?
I think so. I think there's a section for it. Hot tubs, pools.
You know what? I'm proud that I don't know that that's still a thing. I'm proud of myself. That means the Twitch algo has found other people that enjoy that type of content, and that's good.
Well, because you stream on Twitch, right?
Yeah,
Somewhat
yeah,
often?
I stream. Yeah, I stream on Twitch.
Like, is that your main platform or it's YouTube?
Nah, YouTube right now for sure. I want to get back going on Twitch though for sure, because I don't know. Me and Mike have been doing like content for like a long time, and we started off with like gaming content, and like we were in the Stone Ages, bro. Like right now, it's like, man, it's like the golden age of like content on Twitch, and people are getting crazy bags, dude. Crazy opportunities. I'm sure you've seen like I think like the gambling streams that everybody's doing. They're getting like crazy money for that. And honestly, I think Twitch is like the new YouTube when it comes to gaming. Yeah, man, a lot of opportunity out there for sure.
I think so. Yeah, my friend Jidon, he's like always telling me like, "Yo, you gotta get on Twitch. You gotta get on Twitch." Like, he said that like really helped his YouTube career out, like streaming every day, because he's had some fucking viral moments on there already that got popping on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
I like the idea of streaming. I don't know if it could be like my primary source of income, because like I like it as a supplement, but I also like, I've always liked the idea of, okay, I could schedule content and take a step back if I need to. I know so many people that are like, that feel the pressure of, oh, I gotta go live.
What do you mean, like content from your Twitch stream?
No, just content. Like if it comes to strictly creating YouTube videos to like live streaming.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Obviously, the ideal situation would probably be a content strategy that has both. That you stream on Twitch, that Twitch content becomes YouTube content, kind of like what Moist Critical does, and
or like Flight White, or like I'm pretty sure Jadion kind of does the same. Or how do you say?
No, exactly.
Yeah, he does like the same thing.
Yeah, Jadion.
And so do like a lot of streamers now. It reminds me of like the old Call of Duty days where people used to just play the game and just rip content from their stream or whatever they're doing, and just upload it. No edits, just put it up, bro.
Man, that's really a throwback. Old COD commentary.
I wish we could pull up a few of Flight Mike's COD videos right now. I wish we had that power. Yeah, I was convinced he was gonna be the next X-Jaws. Like, no joke. Like, my guy was nasty with it.
Y'all been doing it for that long?
Yo, he's been doing it for that long. I'm fairly new to the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Man, Coop, stop. No, we both started in like, was it like 2010? I think we both started in 2010.
Yeah, man.
And like it's been whenever I tell people like I'm a full-time content creator, they're always like, "Oh, you're so lucky, it's so easy." And I'm like, nah, man, there was like a whole 10-year stretch where I was making like $500 a month, and like my parents were like saying, "Mike, you're in your like 20s, like go make something out of your life." And I'm like, nah, you guys don't understand. This is what I want to do. This is the future. Like, all my friends were like, "You're obsessed with YouTube. You're a little delusional." Like, it was a whole process to get to this point. And it wasn't until I gave up and went to dental school and saw all of my friends like recording content, and instead of studying like dentistry, I started studying YouTube a little bit more. that I finally came back. I'm like, oh, this is what I need to do. And, you know, thankfully it worked out. I couldn't imagine being a dentist.
Yeah, I mean, was there like a first check that you got from YouTube where you're like, or even like a first payday where you're like, damn, like this could really be a full-time job. Like, it's not just me fucking around anymore, like with my microphone and computer.
So I knew it could get to that point. I remember, I think it was like something like June of 2019. I was still like, I dropped out of dental school. I came back home. My family convinced me to go into nursing school, which, you know, they're like, yeah, you can make like a solid like $100K a year. You should go to nursing school. And I was very much like the type of guy that's like, all right, I want to be greater than average. So let me try nursing school. Let me try YouTube. Let me try real estate. Whichever pops off is what I'll do. And then I remember that June, I was doing my nursing school classes and I got like a check from YouTube AdSense for something like $6,000, you know, part-time. And I'm like, I look at my brother, I'm like, yo, dude, look, $6,000 part-time work. And he like looked at me, he's like, okay, if you're making $6,000 off of part-time work, then you need to go full-time into this. Like, this is like, you don't need to be a genius to figure out that's what needs to happen. And after that, like, I kept continuing. I had a really good summer. And then by that October, it kind of became apparent, like, yo, you're an idiot if you keep doing school while also, like, kind of half-assing this great opportunity in front of you to do social media. And that's how I eventually jumped into doing what I do full-time.
Also, guys, while you're here, this podcast, Laced Up, is also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It would be awesome if you could go check us out there, follow us there, and leave us a review.
Yeah, so guys, we are capping off the giveaway to the first 40,000 subscribers that turn on our notifications for the Laced Up podcast. All you have to do to enter for a chance to win a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X is subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to do us a favor, leave a like on the pod and let me know in the comment section down below when it's done. You'll enter for a chance to win a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X.
How did you really get into like making the style of content that you make? And is it hard to like keep up with? Because like there's like just on the internet, there's just like a bunch of news going around and in circulation. Like, how do you pick out topics where you're like, oh, they're gonna love this one?
Yeah, so at this point, like it gets different every year. Like, I'm sure if you ask me the same question next year, I'll have a different answer for you. But last year I was making still a lot of content of like TLC and like reviewing TV shows and stuff like that. But like, man, that was like running so stale because like there's only so many things you can say about, you know, My Strange Addiction or 1,000 Pound Sisters or whatever it is. And so I started making more like videos that would be considered more relevant. And after that, that was when like maybe like two videos hit like 1 million views about Dan Bilzerian. And that was like, okay, like I kind of understood like what I needed to do. So then I just started leaning into more of that content. And nowadays it's like sometimes I'll see something trending or I'll like just see a story and I'm like, oh yeah, automatic lot of view video. Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen like the 90 Day Fiance stuff?
Yeah. Oh, that used to pull a lot of views.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sure it still does.
Bro, people made complete channels off of that, and they ran with it. Ed, I think that was the name of the short dude.
Oh, yeah,
bro was a gold mine. He was content.
Was a gold mine.
And one of the people off of the shows, I think Ed's girlfriend at the time, actually made a channel, Rose, and I think she was doing pretty good last time I checked too. Yeah, everybody off of like those reality shows now, they're like booming on IG and YouTube. Like the clout is real. Low key. We might need to go on
I have a friend named or like a dude I know on here named Salsaholic, and he's like his whole channel is 90 Day Fiance.
I might need to check him out. Not like I watch it like that or nothing, but you know, I need to check that out for sure.
Yeah, and he'll get a couple 100,000 views a video if he wanted to, like because he'll only make like 1 or 2 videos a month, but if he wanted to, this guy could be crushing. But I think that about a lot of people on YouTube, like, man, you could be crushing if you did this or that, but you know, whatever.
This guy's AVs, I mean not AVs, this guy's thumbnails are fire.
Yeah, Yeah, like his commentary is very similar to, I don't know if you've ever seen like old Swoozy videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he's very, I think he's very inspired by him. Me and him were supposed to do a podcast at one time, like a couple years back, but it never materialized.
So look, man. Honestly, like, Jamari, if you watch this pod decently, like, before I used to be the proud Laker fan, we're gonna win. Now I'm like the laughing stock of this entire podcast for being a Laker fan.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Because
I know y'all be going at each other, you and the other Mike, over like Bulls, Lakers.
It wasn't supposed to be like this, man. Like, the Bulls weren't supposed to be a great team, and like the Lakers weren't supposed to be. Well, I guess they were. The Pelicans were definitely not supposed to be what they are right
What
now.
did I even do to deserve that? I was drinking water, and you got a Pelican shot in there.
Bro, all I know is you got like the next coming of like LeBron James apparently, and he's eating himself out of the NBA.
How is that our fault? How is that? What does that have to do with us? I can't control what he eats, Mike.
But what do you think about that one picture of him with a fan where he looks fit?
Yeah, I mean, bro, like, you know, you wear a black shirt and you could convince everyone you're in shape. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a comment.
So you taking shots at you and Jamari right now, or like what? What's going on?
I'm just saying, have you ever seen me wear a light colored shirt to the podcast? There's a reason for that, bro. Like, every time I wear like the light blue laced up shirt, I get like I don't even look at the comment section then, but so all right. So yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was gonna be a mean joke. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. It was a mean joke.
No, say it.
It was off base.
No,
I had no right. I'm policing myself right now. I had no right to think what I was thinking, Mike. You know, I got love for you, so I'm not even going to say it. But about that picture, man, I don't know. Like, I was torn. Like, I actually had a tweet that banged for me the other day on the Zion Williamson situation. You know, admittedly, you know, I was a little emotional, and I let out a tweet. I said, I believe in Willie Green in the future, and I believe in Zion Williamson. Doubt him if you want. I know he's coming back better than ever. And I was actually going to delete that tweet, but it got like traction. So I was like, oh, okay. I hope everybody knows that I don't really agree with this like that anymore. So there was a report that came out that I just can't believe, and it was that Zion Williamson has had a LeBron-like work ethic ever since the injury. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like it's just hard to believe. Like,
I saw the opposite.
I saw that too.
Like, I saw he's been sleeping through like practices, and he's been skipping rehab workouts. I don't know what to believe.
Exactly. So when I saw that he was sleeping through practices, or film sessions, I was like, yo, like, this ain't it, man. This can't be life. Like, if I'm a Pelicans player, I don't want nobody that's like not trying, don't even care enough to get themselves in shape when I'm busting my ass. That's just me though. And I think that's actually a believable report, because Zion did fall asleep at a Pelicans game before. I don't know if you remember that clip. Mike, I actually think you favorited my tweet on that clip where he's like falling asleep at a Pelicans game. So yeah. If he would have said something like an Anthony Davis type of work ethic, I would have believed it. You know, maybe Damian Lillard, but like LeBron has he's one of the hardest working individuals in the league. Like that's just hard to believe, man.
I saw something that said in his first 3 seasons, Zion Williamson played 85 games, and then like right next to it was a graphic of like in his first 3 seasons, Greg Oden played 82 games, and I was like, that's tough, man. Because like Greg Oden, like we're all old enough to remember, like Greg Oden back in the day, we were looking at him and we're like, wow, this guy's the next coming of Shaq. Drafting Greg Oden, like a lot of people don't realize this now, but in 2007, drafting Greg Oden number 1 over Kevin Durant was like a no-brainer. You know, it was like, yeah, duh, you're taking the next coming of Shaq over Kevin Durant. So it's just,
there's no scenario in which, I don't know. It's hard for me to blame the Pelicans here. Because you know, you just never know with things like this. Sometimes it's hard to judge a player's work ethic. We look at Zion's highlights in college, he looks like a completely different person. I can't even bro, I looked at his college highlights the other day, and I almost like shed a tear. I was like, yo, he used to look like this for real? Like, you kidding me? And that's not to say he ain't been good in the NBA, but just like in college, high school, he was a different beast. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't made a video on the Zion Williamson stuff yet, Jamari. Is that something that's even like been on your radar? Because I know you've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I think about covering more sports content sometimes, but at the same time, I don't know how it'll really perform on the channel.
I saw you got a banger off of Jackson Mahomes though.
Oh yeah, a couple bangers. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it has to be more like in relation to sports. I don't know if it can actually be like they want to see me like breaking down, what I think about Zion and stuff. Because I know Mike, like, man, Mike's made a ton of videos going at Zion, bro. And I like Zion. I like Zion a lot, bro. Last year I was saying how I think Zion's gonna be like the number 1 player in the league in like 5 years.
Bro, I'm right there with you. You know what? I still believe in Zion. I take it back. That tweet I tweeted. Back, baby. If as long as he believes in us, because New Orleans sports, it's really hard to find players that want to stay there right now.
Yeah. And
so if he believes in us, I believe in him. I don't know if he believes in us. And something's definitely going to have to change going forward, whether it be his diet, his commitment, his work ethic. So, Mike, what are your closing thoughts on the Zion Williamson situation?
Honestly, I'm really happy that I just hope that this becomes a clip on the podcast channel, because Tom has been crushing the thumbnail game for Zion is Fact content lately.
He's responsible for those thumbs.
Yeah, that's the guy right there.
The dude on the bike is Tom. Like, it ain't me.
It ain't me either.
Those pictures be doing Zion crazy.
Bro, the one of him on the bike is ridiculous. Like,
you've been going crazy, Mike. I won't lie, bro. But
but
you haven't received a lot of like negative backlash from it, right? So it must be like a general consensus thing that people think he's kind of being lazy.
I mean, like, I try to remain objective in the analysis, and at the end of the day, we're all on team. We want Zion to come back and to dominate the NBA, because that's what's good for the NBA. It's just like one of those bizarre situations. Like, do you know the Markelle Fultz situation with his jump shot, Jamari?
Yeah.
So it's very similar to that, only like I'd say slightly less bizarre, because you have a player that was like looking like an incredible freak athlete, and then he gets drafted, and then all of a sudden like he's having weight issues. It's just very, I don't know, very random. I don't know if it's as a result of him growing or developing fully or what it is, but hopefully he makes it back. Hopefully he makes it back, man. That's my closing thoughts.
I will say this. I think the joke sucks sometimes, especially when they're in person. Sometimes there's a funny joke every here and now. But, I can only imagine. Like I said, I be on YouTube, and, sometimes comments get to me. I'm sure you guys have thicker skin than me, but, sometimes I see these comments, and I'm like, damn, bro. Like, it's hard to please everybody, though, at the end of the day. And, being in the public light like that and constantly have people talk down on you, like, that's a tough situation. So I definitely do feel for Zion Williamson. But at the same time, when you compare this to, like, what happened with Ben Simmons, it's apples to oranges. But people kind of let Ben Simmons slide without shooting for like the first, 6, 7, 8, however many years of his career. And now we're here to where, he's not showing up for the team. He's got things off the court going on, and it's just a whole mess for the Philadelphia 76ers. So while I do think what's going on with Zion sucks in the public eye, hopefully he uses this as motivation, because that's what a lot of the great players would do. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you could compliment Mike, and Mike gonna be like, what'd you say about me, bro? He gonna use that as motivation to try to get to the next level. So while we're talking about Ben Simmons, Jake L. Fisher has reported the trio of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook simply hasn't blended as well as the Lakers figured. Los Angeles has held internal discussions on trade scenarios for Russell Westbrook, and we have heard that they are also interested and Ben Simmons. What are you feeling about that, Mike?
So it's kind of funny, because the reason we're in this situation is LeBron James. It's not Rob Pelinka playing general manager anymore. It's LeBron freaking James. Like, only LeBron James would like look at Russell Westbrook and say, hey, You know, let's trade KCP, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma. Screw our spacing. You know, hey, screw the fact that Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony were a remarkable combination with each other in Oklahoma City. Let's get Russell Westbrook on the team. You know, I don't care if he has one of the worst contracts in the NBA. So then we bring on Russell Westbrook. I don't know if you remember, like 2 to 3 weeks ago, there were rumors about like Frank Vogel getting fired in favor of David Fizdale. Who do you think was behind that crap too? LeBron. You know, like who the hell looks at David Fizdale and is like, yes, you're the guy that's going to lead us to a championship? LeBron. So like right now I'm looking at the situation, and first of all, I'm going to defend Russ here. He's shooting 32% from three. That's like his fourth highest 3-point percentage in his entire career. Anthony Davis is the one that's performing horribly so far, and I don't even know why. That's like a completely different topic, but I don't think I do think Russ is the problem. And I do think it's one of those situations where they just have to play through it and get together. But like looking at this and just imagine LeBron saying, okay, it's not working out with Russell Westbrook. Let's bring another person in from Clutch Sports that probably won't fit with us offensively, but you know, we'll figure it out. Just seems very typical of LeBron to do so.
What you're saying is you don't think that you don't think that Ben Simmons would be a better fit than Russell Westbrook?
He'll make our offense worse and our defense better.
So that's overall plus or negative going to Ben Simmons. How you feel?
That's a tough question. I think net negative.
Net negative,
in my opinion, because you're gonna have to figure out how to, have those pieces work together. So
what I got from this is that Pelinka has to think that Daryl Morey is an idiot. I don't think there's a scenario, and if this happens, play this clip. We can come back to this. I don't think there's a scenario in which Russell Westbrook gets traded for Ben Simmons. But of course, I wasn't entirely sure that Russell Westbrook was even going to get traded to Los Angeles in the first place. And look at where we are now. So I think when it comes to Ben Simmons, I think the Philadelphia 76ers will want no part of that Russell Westbrook contract. I think they're going to want a young player. And, a name that I've seen that's been getting bounced around a lot is Talon Horton-Tucker. THT is a good player. And I think he's actually one of those guys that if he gets traded, that, he starts to kind of go off elsewhere, depending on the team that he goes to. I like Talon Horton-Tucker's talent a lot, Mike.
I mean, I don't think just commenting on what you said earlier about the Lakers trading for Ben Simmons, it wouldn't be a straight up swap. The Athletic article suggested that the Sixers are trying to engage multiple teams and do 3-team trade scenarios in order to trade Ben Simmons.
I still can't see that. Any trade that has Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook in it, I don't see happening. But
I don't either.
At the same time, weirder things have happened, and I don't know if they have, but weirder things have happened in the NBA.
The Pau Gasol trade was very one-sided, so I've seen crazier stuff.
Wasn't Marc Gasol in that trade?
Yeah, but back then we didn't know Marc Gasol was Marc Gasol.
But he still became Marc Gasol at the end of the day.
Yeah, fair, very fair. I personally don't think this trade's going to happen. I think the Lakers are more likely to trade for Jeremy Grant, and I don't think that's going to solve anything either. I think
who could you see the Lakers giving up for Jeremy Grant?
That's my issue. I don't understand what the Lakers are doing in these trade rumors to begin with. It's you don't have a first round draft pick until 2027, I believe. And then you don't really have anyone that you could trade. No one wants. I guess some teams will want Russell Westbrook. I could imagine Russell Westbrook to the Kings being a thing. I could imagine Russell Westbrook to one of those teams that have just been horrible and losing for years that just want something to be excited about being a thing. Especially because the Kings don't really value Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley that much. So I could see that, but I can't see Russell Westbrook for a star or for Ben Simmons. I could see Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum, but apparently the 76ers don't want CJ McCollum. But Damian Lillard wants Ben Simmons. It's like a gigantic like puzzle. It's like Ben Simmons and LeBron and AD have the same agency. Damian Lillard wants Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons doesn't want to play for Philly. Philly's doing fine without Ben Simmons. Like it's probably definitely one of the more captivating trade deadlines we've seen for quite some time. I don't know what the solution is for the Lakers. I would just say at this point, like, you have Russ. If you could trade for some like youth, that would be great. But we have like a less than 3% chance of making it to the NBA Finals. I think that all starts with Anthony Davis, if you ask me. I don't think trading anyone is necessarily the answer here.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, I'll never be mad at teams, you know, acquiring talent or, you know, trying to improve their current outlook or their future outlook. Speaking of teams trying to do that, we have the Indiana Pacers over here trying to liquidate every asset they have, reportedly, because Rick Carlisle actually says that he met with the team and made it clear that they want to win with the team that they have. This team was put together with the idea that this team could work. And so far, it has not been working to the best degree. And then we had Miles Turner come out and say, it's clear that I'm not valued as anything more than a glorified role player here. And I want something more opportunity. I'm not valued as more than anything than a rotational role player. And I hold myself to a higher standard than that.
I'm just trying to imagine getting, like, it's kind of like, you guys ever see Wolf of Wall Street, where, you know, Leonard, like the Honorable Jordan Belfort, who is a motivational speaker nowadays, by the way, walks in, young Jordan Belfort walks into, I think it was LR something Rothschild. I forgot the name of the investment bank. And on the very first day, like, they go under, and like everything, like, it was his dream job, and everything goes to shit. Market crashes, and now he's like jobless. I'm kind of imagining that's what happened to like the Pacers head coach, where he's like, yeah, like, fuck coaching Luka Doncic, you know, like, I don't want to coach this guy. Him and Kristaps Porzingis are not it. Like, they're not going to work out well together. I'm going to go and coach like a up and coming team with a bunch of young talent like the Pacers. And then he goes there and the Pacers are like, yeah, we're thinking of blowing it all up. Like, after it's like, that's gotta be an awful feeling if you're the coach. If I actually like what the Pacers are doing, because they clearly see there's a lot of talent that could be had, and they definitely are probably the most asset-rich team. Like, Miles Turner, is probably a center that could fit on almost any team in the NBA. You know, Domantas Sabonis, incredibly, unfortunately, underrated. Karis LeVert is like a walking bucket. I'd assume Malcolm Brogdon's included in this because, well, if you're blowing it up, you're blowing it up. I'm
sorry, I definitely cut you off there. I have a question for you guys.
I talk a lot. It's fine.
No, you don't do that. Now you make me look like the bad guy.
Yeah, you are a bit of a bad guy.
I'm a Pelicans fan. I'm down bad. I'm not the bad guy, man. If you guys could play for any team in the NBA, rosters not considered, we're just talking strictly location. What are you guys thinking? Where would you want to play basketball? Any city, your choice.
I don't know, man. Mike? I mean, I guess probably Los Angeles. Shit. If I'm gonna be an NBA player,
you're one of those LA guys, man.
And like everything that comes with being an NBA player, I mean, maybe, man.
Probably San Antonio.
San Antonio?
Yeah, because let's be honest, man. Like, if you see me play basketball, I'm ass. I'm horrible, you know. But like, if you put me, I don't know what's so funny about this. Like, you've seen my 1v1 against Flight. Like, it's obvious. Like, I'm a horrible basketball player. I'm good at other stuff, you know. I make content. I lift weights, you know. I'm good at specific things. Basketball is not one of them. So if I am like playing for the Lakers every single day, like people are gonna be just saying I'm a horrible human being and I have these weird outfits and
That's
everything.
one thing about Lakers fans. You guys do that. Everybody
No, we
loves
don't.
Lakers players. No. I'm saying everybody loves Lakers players when they're winning. At the second y'all sniff that y'all might be a little bit of ass, everybody starts going under the bus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's
You
bro.
have
100%.
no idea.
Nah, that is true, bro. Even as a casual fan, I know that's true.
That's so true, bro.
It's like
I don't do that
it's
shit.
like being a Cowboys fan, bro.
Are you a Cowboys fan too?
Am I? Yeah, bro.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I'm from Texas.
yeah. Oh wow, we're all from Texas, low key.
Yeah.
Some of us kept our fandoms in Texas, and others, they kind of betrayed us. But
Yeah, I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan, like for life. So like when I have a fucking my career and shit, I go with the Spurs. But thinking like logistically about where I would want a career, probably in Los Angeles, because you're probably gonna make so much more money from endorsements.
So just
Yeah, but
forget the
think about-
hometown. That's what you're saying. You saying forget San Antonio. They put on for Texas. Put on for you. You one of those guys that just leaves everything behind. It's like, yo, give me that LA
for the right amount of
for the
money. I might have to,
bread.
man.
No.
Bro, you're
For those endorsements.
Enjoy paying federal income tax, bro. Like
That is true too. LA
That
is
is true. That is true.
See with LA.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Coop? You going with New Orleans?
I no. I should have saw that coming. No. I love you, Pelicans fans. You know that. I don't even gotta say that. What's understood don't gotta be said. So I don't know though. That's a good question. I see why it was so hard for you guys. I wouldn't want to go to Los Angeles just because there's so much traffic. There's so much going on. And I said this to Mike the other day. I saw reports that LA is getting a little bit worse.
A little bit.
I saw, yeah.
you can live here for free, bro. What are you talking about? Live on the streets? Like
I saw
I'm not
like.
kidding.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to
Remember
cut
that
you off,
report I
man.
sent you where they were like Los Angeles is like the one of the police chiefs or something was like it's like a purge over there or something. That's probably like the craziest report I've ever seen coming from a police chief about like a major city. I was like, that's crazy, bro. And
Yeah, it's in a situation where like LA has always been like, help the middle class and just kind of take kind of like Robin Hood, take money out of the like rich pocket, put in the poor. But it's gotten to like a really tough situation where like homelessness is on the rise. Apparently other states are sending their homeless to us.
Homelessness is actually on the rise. Like I don't know. Austin's gotten really bad too. I don't know if that's just like
Really?
with those cities that have like a high that cost a lot to live in or whatever. But yeah, Austin is terrible. Like there definitely needs to be something done about like what's going on in Austin, man. It's really bad over there. I guess like big tech and the cost of living is going up. It's driving out the middle class and all that. Yeah, man, it's rough.
Tenants don't need to pay rent. Like they don't, straight up.
So looking back at like the teams, bro, man, like what's like the best city? Maybe Toronto, but then again, I'm not good with cold weather. I don't know how to drive in the snow. Jamari, you said you're from Texas. Did you guys have that freeze?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I live right near Austin, so yeah, I know about the homeless, bro. Like, it is a real problem.
You didn't have to go through that like bad freeze that
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we had no electricity for like I don't know 4 or 5 days, maybe. No electricity, no water. It was crazy, bro. Because then you really start thinking like, damn, we ain't shit without electricity.
For real, you take so much for granted, man.
We ain't shit, bro.
I
could barely drive down the street because we don't have snow tires or nothing here. So
nobody could. Nobody here. There were actually like a lot of wrecks here because people are not used to driving in.
Hey, where do you live in Houston?
Yeah, I'm in Houston right now. So I'm not gonna lie.
It was all messed up out here,
bro. I'm not gonna lie. I put my hazard lights on and I was scared when I was driving. I was like, this cannot be it, bro. Yeah, it was ugly, man.
Yeah, that was a terrible time. I remember like a month before that it snowed and everyone was like having fun and like happy, and then like it froze and we were like, oh fuck.
Do you have any gold diggers in Texas, or is that only an LA thing? Do you have any Brittany Renners up in there?
So look, are we sure Brittany Renner's a gold digger? Like, I don't know the full story, so you know, I could use a little bit of context on the situation.
Bro, I'm starting to think that like the way she popped off was probably like a paid ad from her team, because like the way this all started was a rumor that PJ Washington, you know, the role player on the Hornets, owed $200,000 to her in child support.
Yeah, that was the big headline, definitely.
Yeah, and like there were so many problems. I remember when I was covering the story, there were so many holes in that story. Like, for one, they were never married. You know, like some people said like Brittany Renner was his wife. They were never married. It was just these two got together, had a kid. 1 week after having the kid, Brittany Renner dipped. You know, and it was, I guess it was the timing of it all that just, and the fact that there was the $200K a month headline that just blew up her reputation as a gold digger. And she just took that shit and ran.
But have you watched like her rebuttal now? Because I know we're like months removed away from those headlines, but now she's like saying like that's all like bullshit, and that, I mean, her story is convincing.
That's what I was about to say. I think I saw your
rebuttal?
video on it, Jamari, and like I was like, hey, it sounds good, like what she's saying.
Well, I mean, with some of these women on here, I feel like a lot of times, man, like I'll cover them and then eventually like I end up more on their side because the NBA players just, I mean, they be doing dumb shit, man. To be honest with you, like, I don't know. Her side of the story is basically that, you know, she wanted to stay, that this dude wouldn't stop cheating. You know, she alludes to the idea that he wouldn't stop cheating. And there she was, like, pregnant, like, what the fuck? Why don't you just, like, chill out? And, I mean, what do you expect, though, out of, like, I mean, I know this ain't going to be everyone, but what do you expect out of a guy? How old is he? 22 years old? And he, like, just amassed everything he wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, that's true.
This is going to sound, like, really shitty of me to say, but, like, there's one stereotype, and Coop and Mike got on me for this before, but, like, I hardcore believe in this stereotype where, like, a basketball player would be more susceptible to cheating than the average person. And that's because they're constantly on the road. They're barely at home. And like Mike and Coop killed me for this.
I don't remember killing you for this.
You guys definitely killed.
But you mean more than another professional athlete?
No, just more than the average human being.
Oh, well, I think any professional athlete is going to be prone to having those options because they're traveling all the time. You know, different cities, they can kind of keep it more under wraps than if you're staying in the same place.
I mean, guys cheat all the time, though. Like, this is crazy.
In general,
at the same time, yeah, like guys are bad sometimes. A lot of times, you know. So I mean, I don't know. Like,
I love how this is presented. It's like, boys will be boys, you know.
Oh no, I'm not saying boys will be boys. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that guys in general are being bad. I don't know if that changes more or less when you make it to the NBA. That's what I'm trying to say, man. I got love for my basketball players, man. I used to hoop.
I mean, I'm sure you're just presented with many opportunities to do bad, you know.
But the opportunities also may hurt you a little more. Like, you may have a little more at stake at the same time.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But
100%.
also, yeah, that hasn't seemed to matter in a lot of cases.
It's crazy though. It's like it kind of blows my mind that like the athletes don't really learn their lesson after seeing like repeats of the same story over and over again. You know, like in PJ Washington's situation, like first of all, whenever I see Brittany Renner talk, it seems like it's very incoherent. You know, it seems like she's just saying one thing after another, and she's like, okay, hopefully one of these takes off and like clears my name. You know, I don't know how recent she said like the cheating stuff, but if she led off with that in the very beginning, then I don't think anyone would be on her as bad. But then the way she went about
she relishes in being the villain. I mean, that's 100% the truth.
It's like, I'm the villain, yes, and then she like cries about being the villain. She's like, "Oh, guys, I'm not that bad." And then,
but do y'all also think that PJ is like playing up to like get sympathy too? Because I think he also plays the victim as much as she. Like, the more I look into the situation, the more I'm like, yeah, this dude loves to be like the victim, and she loves to be the villain, and that's really just is what it is.
I think they're both equally like idiotic, to be honest, which is what makes it so like fascinating. I think the story is bizarre. Like, this one woman who, how old was she when she was going to PJ Washington's games? When PJ Washington was like 19, was she like 26, 27?
I think she was about 26 or 27 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're going to this 19-year-old's game, and then, you know, have a child with him. 1 week later, you're out. You know, like, you don't even wait to see if fatherhood changes him at all. It's just like, nah, F this. I had your kid later. This video of you like years ago saying just sleep with an athlete, they're really dumb, you'll have a check for life, comes out. Like, I mean, I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is with fame, there comes a lot of like bad stuff with fame, which is, one, you're going to be verbally assaulted by the masses. You know, you're going to have people that love you. Some women may look at Brittany Renner and say like, yeah, you go girl, way to know your worth and get the bag and dip. And some people would like curse her and say you're a horrible human being, a whore, stuff like that. And I think that just comes with every profession. Like, when you blow up on YouTube, like at first you'll get like a bunch of love comments saying, "Hey, you're crushing it, love your content." And then there's that one comment saying, "Wow, this is clickbait garbage, you piece of crap. I didn't get the point of this video. I'm unsubscribing," you know? So I feel like in any industry you'd get that, and that just comes with the territory. I feel like if she could do it all again, she'd do the exact same thing though.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has definitely helped her brand. I didn't know who she was before this, but I know she has been like, I guess a public figure for doing this type of stuff, for starting with like Colin Kaepernick and stuff like that. So
it's been fun. Yeah, bro, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, this goes back like 10 years.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I had no idea that she had like this type of reputation.
Yeah, I didn't even know who she was until like Mike said, the headline, the $250,000.
I'll give it to you. I heard her name a lot, but I thought she was just like maybe like a clouded IG chick, or you just like, you know, like one of those
I think
girls
that is pretty much what she was. Yeah, like an IG model. But now it's like gotten taken to like a different level of influence. I saw somewhere where she said she wants to be like the next Wendy Williams, which I'm like, I think that's super far fetched. Like,
why Wendy Williams?
Yeah, she wants to like start an exposed podcast.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I honestly think
it's all eyes on her right now. So
yeah, that's true. She probably
she needs to go on like Call Her Daddy or something like that, and then like
that would be crazy.
Impressed.
That would be crazy.
I'm really impressed though. Like, she has been riding this like clout wave, and I think you said this in one of your videos, bro, and I agree. Like, it's incredible how long she sustained relevance from something that's like 6 months old. Like, it's very, very.
I mean, with these types of women, like with Larsa Pippen, eventually you have to just like give them their credit, because it's like people even say like Kim Kardashian's not talented, but I'm like, staying relevant is such like a big talent. Like, I don't think people really understand, like, and she's making hundreds of millions of dollars off of just like being herself.
Like, I've actually studied some of the stuff Kim Kardashian does, and it's like crazy when you see people, like, you see celebrities in the past be placed in the same situation as her and completely crumble. Like Britney Spears, she completely crumbled with paparazzis coming and consistently taking pictures of her. In Kim Kardashian's situation, she's like, all right, I'm going to be here at this time, at this point. You are to submit all your pictures to me. I will tell you when you can release them. You're going to get a bag. They're going to be Photoshop edited so I look really good. Larsa Pippen situation, I think, is completely different, though.
Well, I think, to me, someone like Kim Kardashian, their whole family is very, very calculated. Everything they do is like for PR. Like, even like all this stuff with Kanye recently and Pete Davidson and all that. But I think these other people are more just like, okay, like my name isn't as hot. I gotta do something right now to like get my name popping again. And that's like their mentality. I think someone with like that $1 billion empire, that's like different. Like I do agree with that.
It's really funny. Like I wish I was in the Kardashian meeting where like Kylie and Travis and Kim and Chris were all like together and saying, all right, guys, Travis is like getting destroyed because of what happened to Astroworld. Kim, I need you to like go to a park with Pete Davidson, hold his hand so people could be focused on your new relationship for a little bit. And maybe like Travis won't be as trending as much, which he is. I don't know if you guys saw that latest interview, but
yeah, that Travis situation is just it's a mess, bro.
I still can't believe you went.
Yeah,
I can't believe you were there.
Yeah, I watched y'all's clip. Yeah,
crazy, bro. Like just like I can't believe I went either. Honestly, like when I was looking at we're supposed to go to Rolling Loud. When I was looking at the pictures and the videos from Rolling Loud, my girl was like, "Hey, like that looks scary," and I'm like, "Yeah, like it does."
PTSD.
Like, yeah. So like,
well, I saw y'all's clip. And you said something that Coop said something that I was like, man, like that's exactly how I feel. Like you're like, yeah, we like to like hang out more near the back. Like I don't know if that was always true for you, but the older I got, the more I was like, I'm just in the back, bro. Like I'm not trying to be surrounded by thousands of people jumping up and down and shoving each other and doing all this shit.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, I get it. I get wanting to be near the front. I get trying to get your money's worth. But like at the end of the day, I like to chill, man. I don't know if you've ever been to like the House of Blues in Houston. Like that's my type of venue. It's big enough, not too big. You don't got to worry about like an crazy amount of people being like in your direct vicinity. I don't know, man.
I know, Mike, you're like the opposite though, right? Like you like to like get in there and like be.
This guy's a raver. He's hardcore.
He's Raven. Hardcore. That's what it's called. Yeah, I'm not into the anymore. EDM stuff. It ruined it for you, really?
No, I love going to raves. I just don't like going to the front. And even then, like the last time I went to a rave, like, bro, I'm 28, like I need to take breaks. I need to sit down. I need a Red Bull every like 2 to 3 hours. I have like Rice Krispie treats so I can get instant carbs. Like,
yeah, bro, I drink an insane amount of water. So like I gotta be by a water station. I gotta have water coming to me like consistently.
I felt you on that, bro. I was like, nah, like I'm the same way, man. Like if there's not a seated section at a concert or like whatever it is, I'm not gonna go. I just don't go anymore. When I was younger, though, I liked it. Like I liked like being amongst the crowd atmosphere or whatnot. But I don't know. The older I get, the more I don't know. I don't like big crowds in general and shit.
Yeah, at this recent Rolling Loud, they actually added an age limit, which was
I saw that.
A good move. Yeah.
Like at least how old or
18.
At least
18.
At least 18, yeah.
I thought it was an age limit for like how old you could be. It's like, all right, dickhead.
No.
Like if you're 30 years old, you do not belong here. Like it's like grow the fuck up, man. Like you're done with concerts. Like,
so Mike, are you ever gonna be at an age where you just stop concerting altogether? Stop festivaling?
To be honest, like I've been going to less, and when I do go, I mainly go because I feel like it just keeps me young, But as I
you're
go,
old
like,
as fuck. God damn,
like,
it keeps me young.
No, like
wait, how old are you again?
Me, I'm 28.
Okay, and Coop, how old are you?
I'm 29, but him saying it keeps me young is some crazy stuff.
Yeah, bro.
What do you mean, like
you're not that old?
It keeps me young, bro. You're not.
I mean, bro, like jumping up and down and like headbanging and stuff like that. Like I just don't know if I have it in me anymore. Like
you really got the Achilles that I deserve, man.
Dude, I think your job makes you feel old.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Because I'm 25 and I feel old doing this job.
Yo,
because like sometimes you're the.
Like go ahead. Bro, for real. So do you guys like have like any plans on what you might want to do like after YouTube?
I think about it all the time, bro. I mean, I don't know how much thought y'all put into it, but I mean, I'm gonna ride it till I really like pause can no more. But you know, I don't know. Like I probably just own my own business, some type of business.
I'd probably get into flipping houses.
Oh, you're gonna be one of those guys
like that, man.
Yeah, I
You're gonna
have confidence. I have a lot of confidence in myself for being able to maintain relevance for quite some time because you know, I don't want to sound like cocky, but I feel like I've paid my dues. You know, the like, what is it, the 1,000 hour rule, the 10,000 hour rule, you know, where if you study, like, I feel like I put in my 10,000
well, yeah,
hours.
I mean, I'm not saying that like, man, no one's gonna fall off tomorrow. I'm just saying, like, realistically, because, you know, I mean, tomorrow we could wake up and YouTube's something happens and it's gone for some reason, you know. I mean, you just never know.
That is true. That is true.
That's why I wanted to start streaming more on Twitch again too, because I mean,
you gotta get multiple platforms. Yeah,
gotta get a bathtub. Gotta get a bathtub.
Gotta get a bathtub. What you talking about me?
Yeah, bro. Like, you gotta stay up. You know this. You need to stay on top of the trends. Bathtub streams are is the trend right now. Like,
what do you think? What would you do
on Twitch? Not a bathtub.
No, not on Twitch. I mean, like, if for some reason you had to stop doing this as your job.
Oh, well, before my YouTube got going, I actually like applied for like a bunch of marketing jobs. That's always kind of been my thing. I've always been big on social media. You know, just the latest trends, TikTok, all that stuff. I've always been on that. And I actually got like a bunch of good interviews. I made it to like the final interview to where it was like me or 2 or 3 other guys, and I lost every fucking time. Pissed me off. Really? Yeah, every time I was a finalist, and I would lose. Yeah, there's actually one company. I actually mapped out a PowerPoint on like how to be successful on YouTube, and it's before my new channel got going. I've had like 5 channels, bro. So it's before my new channel got going, and you know, I gave it to them. I gave them free game, and you know, they never hit me back, and their channel went south, and my channel took off. So I was kind of fortunate. But they had some great benefits, though. I can't even lie. They were like one of those like health companies. I was like, man, this would be great. Like, you know, free gym, you know, get on my healthy grind. This was
before you were like making decent money on YouTube, or?
Well, I was making decent money a few times on YouTube, but it was like all with like different channels. So this was like in between my last break and before I started this new channel.
So did y'all both went to college?
Yeah, I graduated with a bachelor's. So yeah, and then I was in physical therapy school while Mike was in dental school. We used to actually talk a lot about like returning and what the move would be. We did like video game mods for a little bit. That was an interesting era.
So y'all had made money from the website and then like stopped uploading and stuff. Like how much? Like, if y'all don't mind me asking, how much money are we talking to where you weren't really like thinking much of it, or you just thought like, I need to be a dentist or I need to be a physical therapist?
For me, I was making like, at my peak at the time, I was making like $2,000 a month, but I was also doing Madden content, so I would spend money on their.
But what year is this? What year is this? Because I'm trying to like.
This is 2016. 2000.
Okay, and y'all are both in like graduate school.
Were
at that time. At that time.
Yeah.
Oh, at that time. I started a little after that. After I stopped, so I started in like 2018, 2019. So that's when I started.
So how long have y'all been doing this to where that's all you do?
Like
where it's like our full-time job.
3 years, 2 years.
Okay, so it's about the same for me.
Years.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So it's about the same for me. Okay, interesting. It's interesting to see the money progress, right? Like.
I don't know if your channel did this, but the YouTube algorithm is so weird. I don't know. I feel like the algo's changed a lot since then.
Oh, it changes, all the time, bro.
When I first really started getting going on this channel, I had a bunch of content up, and like one video took off, and then it was like popcorn. Then like a bunch of my other old random old videos started taking off. It was like, you know, this random video would take off. Then like 3 days later, like this random video would take off. Then 5 days later, another random video would pick up. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I mean, I'm not mad, but It was just weird to see.
And at that point, how long had you been doing it? How many videos? I'm just asking so like, because I think a lot of people, they don't really understand, like, I don't know, like how it feels when you first, like, all of a sudden 10,000 or 5,000 whatever people subscribe in one day, and you have, you know, a couple 100,000 views on a video you made, and you're like, damn, like I never thought this was even possible. You know what I mean? At least that's how I felt. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, it was surreal because, like, back in the day, like, to me, like, and I still feel this way. I'm still grateful for, you know, every single view I get, but, like, you know, like 1,000 views would be a lot. 5,000 views would be a lot. And just to be, like, where you are right now, and you know, this isn't trying to, like, shade anybody, like, especially, like, you know, 10 views, 50 views, like, it's all a lot. But, like, those were, like, unreal numbers to me back then. And, like, to be able to see, like, the progress and to, like, you know, like, where we all are today, I'm like, damn, bro, like, you know, I legit can say I never thought that I would be in this position that I'm in right now. And, you know, I'm incredibly grateful for that.
But how'd y'all feel though? Like when those first, like that first video popped off, those subscribers started, like, to where you were refreshing the shit and, like, you were gaining subscribers, like, every time you refresh it. It's almost like, because at least for me, there was years and years and years of making other types of videos that, like, never popped off at all, bro. Like, I'd share them with my friends, I'd share them with my family.
Yeah,
I'd show whoever the video, and 1,000 views, you're right, would be like, holy shit, like, I'm gonna be famous or whatever. I mean, keep in mind this is back in, like, 2012, 2013. But man, I remember, like, when that first video popped off and I'm gaining all these, like, subscribers and, like, views, it's like, holy crap. And I wasn't even making money. I wasn't even worried about money. Like, I wasn't making any money from the videos. There was no ads yet.
Yeah, me either.
I remember, like, when I came back, like, so I graduated from undergrad in 2016. 2017, I had made a little push, and then I gave up and went to dental school. In 2018 is when I came back and I tried video game modding videos. And I remember one of my videos, like, in comparison to the other ones that were getting like 800 to 1,000 on a 100K subscriber channel, one of them popped off to like 20K, and I was so happy. You know, I was really.
Oh, so you already had gone to 100K.
Yeah, with my Madden content, I was, like, really big in the community. I was collabing with, like, Cash Nasty.
Oh wow! So that's when you were making like a couple $1,000
Yeah,
a month.
That was, like, if you remember, like, this was before YouTube was algorithmic, right? This was before, like, this is when your relevance was dependent upon your ability to hit up people and say, let's collab. And if they, like, collabed with you, you may gain 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers that day. Now it's not like that anymore. Now it's like for, like, you and I collabed, right? When do you remember, like, the day we collabed, how many, like, extra subscribers you may have gotten?
Yeah, it was probably like double what I would normally get, maybe.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah,
if I would normally get 1,000, it was 2,000 or 2,500 maybe.
Yeah, it's not like that gigantic anymore. Like, now, whenever you go to collab with people, it's more like, yo, I feel like if we can make, like, a piece of, like, great art together if you want to collab together. But
I agree with that 100%, because it used to be like, oh, like, he got on camera with him, and then all of a sudden, boom, like, he gets 100,000 more subscribers, or even more. Like, people would share audiences like crazy. But now I think, like, a lot of the people who are gonna, like, know who I am are gonna know who, like, Get Like Coop is. They're gonna know who the Flight Mike is, like, because they just watch YouTube. Just, like, there's so many people watching YouTube.
Yeah. So, what's the most shocked you've been about somebody that watches your content? Like, have you had anybody watch your content that you're like, oh snap, like, I'm a fan of you, like, I mess with you, I mess with your content? Yeah, for you.
The first one that was crazy was there's a UFC fighter named Curtis Blades. He hit me up, like, pretty early on, and he watches my videos, so that was cool. But more recently, like, Adam22 from No Jumper will, like, have messages, and there's this guy Wayno from, I don't know how many of you, if y'all watched Everyday Struggle with DJ Academics on Complex. Yeah, so, like, when Wayno came in, I was, like, still watching that shit every day, and I was like, I really fuck with Wayno or whatever, and then he hit me up like, oh, you're one of my favorite YouTubers or whatever. So, like, that was pretty cool for me.
Dude, Axe had like a crazy resurgence this year. Like dude's like Tom Brady. Like he like it's crazy. Like he was like comeback influencer of the year this year. Like
Who, Tom Brady?
No, academics.
Oh,
Like,
academics, bro. Oh yeah, yeah, he's going crazy.
like saying, like calling Brittany Renner a side chick to his face. The shit that happened on the Fresh and Fit podcast, like, like oh my god, bro. Like I watch. I don't want to insult another podcast. Like I watch a lot of Spencer Cornelia videos, like roasting that podcast, and like how, like, what is that guy's name? Not Myron, but the other one, like the one that had, yeah, Walter, the one that had like a clear gold digger girlfriend on his podcast and didn't like.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, man, that's been
Bro,
a whole like other thing, the Fresh and Fit drama.
I don't understand how I don't understand like what keeps people watching when someone gets exposed that badly. Like if their entire podcast is like about like being an expert in dating, and it's just dating, right? Is it dating and something else?
It's dating and like their idea of how to present yourself as a man and like
As a high value.
As a high value
So
man.
it's funny that like back in the day, like 10 years ago, like Simple Pickup and those random approach videos used to be going crazy, and now that stuff's kind of dead. It's all about being the alpha male, and
100%.
yeah, like that's the new
That content
Simple
is
Pickup
booming.
content. That stuff is going crazy, and to see like some of these videos, and they're like, oh well, guys, these guys aren't
Red
really
pill,
like
bro.
this. Yeah.
Red pill, you gotta be red pill, bro. All women are trying to use you for your money.
Wait,
man.
wasn't Kevin Samuels like talking with Brittany Renner or something? Like, wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, I've seen that too.
It's such a funny niche, and like I'll tell you,
I think you could kill it.
Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't preach it though. Like I don't.
No, but I know you
like,
wouldn't. But hypothetically, I think if you wanted to, body that.
Could have a red
But-
pill channel. Shit.
I remember,
That's
like,
funny.
look, like if I'm lucky to have experienced some like genuine loving relationships like in my life, whether it was like romantic or just with my homie to homie. So I don't view the world as people are trying to get me and use me and I'm all on my own. I kind of like say, all right, there are people like that, but it's not necessary. You just have to look for the people that aren't like that. So it's just really funny. It's a very interesting niche. And I probably would never be able to preach that type of stuff. I believed in it for like maybe like 2 to 3 weeks, and I was very fucking depressed. It's a very depressing way to view life, in my opinion. I guess I'm blue pill if that in that case. But,
It's definitely not it. It's definitely not how you want to go about things, for sure.
I'm happy in the Matrix, bro. It's pretty sick in here. Just give me my steak. The guy in the like in the first Matrix. It's like, all right, if this state, like if you put me in the Matrix and make me a rich man in the Matrix and I'm happy, then I'm good. That's who I am. Like,
Well, and in their content, there's no room for like nuance. Like people are just like, this is the way they are. So like every woman's gonna be like this. If you're a man and you have these qualities, this is how women are 100% gonna react, So it's almost like I don't know, man. It's just such bullshit content, When recently they were trying to, I don't know if y'all saw that, they were like trying to get 30 channels taken down.
no, I didn't. For what?
Yeah, so they like filed false copyright strikes against all these people, including myself. So like, yeah,
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear. This has been like big time drama.
Wait, the Fresh and Fit podcast?
Oh yeah, man, I can't believe you haven't heard about this. Yeah, I made a video about it on last Saturday. But like they tried to get Abba and Preach strike down, Spencer, Cornelia, a couple other people too. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal. But it was all like false copyright takedown. I got 3 emails one morning, and it was like 3 takedown requests that would happen in 7 days, and they would all be strikes, bro.
I'm glad you were able to win that, because YouTube isn't always the most logical when it comes to these takedowns and these disputes.
No. Yeah, once some bigger YouTubers got hit, that's when it kind of like started to go away. Because I was like, fuck, I guess I'm just gonna delete these videos.
Yeah, like those strikes are nothing to play with. I know Mike had a few strike scares himself, and he was like on edge when he got his strikes.
Dude, I've had strikes like in the very early on. I had a couple strikes like that I thought were bullshit, but you know, when you first start, you don't really know what to do, and you're just like, fuck, like I'm scared. But now I feel like now I'm like not as scared of that shit, to be honest with you, as I was back then. But yeah, you're right. It's nothing to play with. Definitely not.
I straight up had, I remember it was like February of 2020 where I got 2 copyright strikes.
Damn.
And they were going for the third.
Tough,
it was Swish
They were going
Cultures
for-
and Chris John.
They were trying to
went for
retire
the
the
third.
sides.
They went for the third, and it got rejected. And like, if they would have gotten,
dude,
if they would have gotten that third dude, like,
You would have been
there
good,
wouldn't
though.
even be a there wouldn't even. There wasn't a microphone at the time.
But I told you I had you. I told you that.
Yeah, you did tell me you had me. You did
And
tell
I
me
was
you
doing
had
really
me.
well at that time, so you would have bounced back.
but
and
you
your
were
channel would've
skating
been
on
new.
2 strikes
But still, yeah, it's a crazy situation, bro.
for
I was-
3 months.
For 3, there were like 2 strikes that were like within a week of each other.
Damn, and you were still posting.
I was still posting. Like, they said,
Damn,
you need to private your whole channel. And I'm like,
Yeah, I've
I'm
seen.
gonna just keep,
I guess that's what people recommend. You go fucking.
and I'm like, I'm gonna keep posting, and if I get caught, then I'll just make a new channel. I was like really like, Coop had my back, and I was also really confident saying in myself, saying like, if I get taken down, like, there's this one YouTube video where, you guys know Ludwig. It's like
yeah.
this one. So he made a video saying like, is YouTube like all luck or is it all skill?
Oh yeah.
And like he proved it was all skill. It's like you have to have a mind and do a specific thing. And he created a brand new channel and got it to a video to 1,000 views without like any subscribers whatsoever. So, you know, hopefully it never happens, because it's just it's really hard starting something new. But I got really lucky in that instance as well.
Yeah, I feel like especially now, it's hard to start new things. Like I don't know, like if you're trying to get followers on like Twitter or IG now, it's way harder than back when the platforms first came out, because everybody's like trying to jump to, you know, the new stuff. And I think even now, like you said, like with collabs not doing as well, I think, you know, trying to get people to different channels is harder than it used to be too. So, you know, yeah, thankfully you never got taken down, Mike. You know, I'd have missed you, man.
Oh man, that would have been Mike's worst day, bro.
Straight up, it would have been my worst day. Coop, how do you feel about Steph Curry breaking the 3-point record at Madison Square Garden? I know you're a huge Knicks fan, bro.
I am. Yeah. So with Stephen Curry, you know, I'm playing him in fantasy this week. So fortunately, he didn't go crazy. A lot of people actually feel like the pressure that's been on him to break this record has been affecting his play. I'm not so sure about that. You know, I understand that, you know, when you're Steph, all eyes are pretty much always on you. But I think, you know, sometimes you just go through not necessarily a slump, but colder periods as a player, especially when you consider how hot this guy has been over just the entire course of his career. Now, I do feel bad for Knicks fans because things aren't going great in New York right now. And, I mean, the Knicks are 12-15. You know, I had them in the playoffs. I thought this would be a great season for them. I thought we'd see the homecoming of Kemba. We did see the homecoming of Kemba, but I thought it'd go a little better than it has. You know, I feel for New York fans. How you feel about this?
Dude, I don't understand the whole narrative of, oh, he's going to really, like, Curry's going to break the record at Madison Square Garden to really stick it to the New York Knicks for not drafting him. Because I remember that draft really well. I remember when Curry was drafted, and I remember the moment he was drafted, like Knicks fans were really sad. Like they really wanted Curry, and the Knicks really wanted Curry as well. So I don't think there was anything else they could have done, because if you saw who they took after Curry, that it was Jordan Hill, and they traded him in the middle of the season. They didn't really like him. I also kind of lament the fact that we never got to see Steph Curry and Mike D'Antoni like together. I feel like that would have been really entertaining, for New York.
Wait, so do y'all think Steph Curry has the same career if he gets drafted by the Knicks?
Nope.
I mean,
No,
not the
most
championships,
definitely
but at least the shooting.
I think shooting wise, yeah, but I think the public perception of him changes a ton. I think it's just unfortunate how bought in people are on rings. I get it, because it can be an easy tool to try to separate, and when you arguing, you're gonna bring up whatever. But I think rings are great, but they're not the end game for me. I like to judge players on just how they play and what they've been able to accomplish, whether that be with a good team, a bad team, all that stuff I try to factor in.
I think that I don't think people understand how remarkable what Golden State did was, because you draft Steph Curry, all right, luck. You decide, for sure, luck. You hit on Klay Thompson, also luck. You draft Draymond Green, also luck. Mark Jackson isn't the right coach for them. You fire them for Steve Kerr. Like, I'm not saying it was all luck.
I was about to say, that's a lot of luck, man.
I'm saying like, there's an element of luck to building the right team, in the sense that like Klay Thompson falling all the way to the Warriors, him actually panning out as a player, him and Steph Curry panning out together, them hiring the right coach for the situation, the coach looking at Draymond Green and saying, oh, we should play small, and getting all those players that just play really well together on one team. There's an element. It's just, I guess luck isn't the right word. I'm just saying, what I was trying to say is it's very difficult to replicate this, the environment that made Steph Curry a champion, and I'm not saying that couldn't have happened in New York, because you don't know, maybe. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that Steph gets a ring regardless of where he goes. I don't know how many he gets, but I definitely think he gets one. And I will say this. I think when you have Steph Curry on your team, we're talking about arguably the greatest point guard to ever play. I think that he doesn't get it just sounds like a bad take in my head, but I'm just going to say it. I think he doesn't get enough respect and enough credit for what the Golden State Warriors have built. Easily, without Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors are not the Warriors as we know it.
So what type of players do you think Steph really needs to be around to compete for a championship with anybody?
Rebounders, defenders, and shooters. I think you could put Steph on the floor with just about any team in the NBA, and they are in the playoffs. I think Steph is that type of player. And honestly, there's a small argument to be made that Kerr at this very moment is not utilizing Steph in the best ways possible. It's just that Steph is he's freaking Steph. Like, it's hard to go wrong with him, Yeah.
So, I feel like if the Knicks drafted him, you would get pretty much what James Harden's career has been, mainly because Mike D'Antoni's at the time, the coach, like his introductory coach, would have been D'Antoni. I don't know if the Knicks would still have traded for Carmelo Anthony 2 years later. That's something else that would have changed the landscape of the NBA. And you'll just have and Steph isn't really necessarily the greatest defender. I think he's just in a system that masks the fact that he's not the most remarkable defender. And I feel like that's what the coaching brings in, and the chemistry with Draymond and Klay Thompson brings in. I feel like he'd just be a tremendous scorer, and the dysfunction of the Knicks and the fact that D'Antoni doesn't typically play any defense would have sabotaged his career a little bit.
So to y'all, is Steph Curry like the Warriors' Tim Duncan? Like, without Steph Curry, no championships, no dynasty. He's like the glue of the team, I guess.
Yo, he's like the super glue. He's like, what they got above glue? Like, he's crazy, bro. And Mike, on what you said about Harden, bro, to this day, I still think Harden should have a ring, man. I think he should have beaten one of those Warriors teams. I think that, they got robbed a little bit. I think there was a little bias reffing going on. And I think that, the circumstances for them to lose were unbelievable. No Chris Paul injury. We look at Harden's career a lot differently right now. And, you can even... this is why I don't like playing the what if game though, because you can even say that with like
we could. Korzemba is sick right now, so yeah, it's fine. We could let's have a whole podcast of what ifs now that Korzemba isn't here.
Yeah. We miss you, Mike. But with like
hope you feel better, bro.
With even this past season, you could say that if Giannis doesn't step under Kyrie, Harden gets a ring with Kevin Durant. So. There's always a lot of what ifs to go around though, but I think Harden has had a great career. But I guess you're kind of right in that aspect. Maybe that is what happens. It's impossible to know.
It's kind of like I don't know. The way I always look at careers is no matter what you're given, you're gonna look at what you don't have. I forgot what the fallacy was called. It's like a psychological fallacy where like for example, you remember when I said 20,000 views on this one video that like I got when I was first starting out my career made me really happy? Well, now if I get 20,000 views on a video, I'll be fucking miserable. Like I'll literally like curl up in a fetal position and start thinking that my career is over. I'll start hitting him Jamari in the DM saying, "Yo, what do I do?" I'll start texting Coop. You two are like my go-to guys for like YouTube therapy.
Panicking,
so yeah. I'll start panicking. Like I'll text my girls like, "Yeah, would you be okay if we're homeless?" Like,
God, like, Mike, I know Mike be going. Catastrophic thoughts or whatever.
Yeah, I would. So it's kind of funny because like as your career progresses, like for us, we look at James Harden and like Russell Westbrook, and we're like, these guys got a bag. These guys have been to multiple All-Stars. James Harden and Russell Westbrook are definite Hall of Famers, no matter what happens, championship or not. But in their head, they're probably like, we need to win a championship. I need to win a championship. Kevin Durant has done some really weird stuff just to win a championship too. So, and even after you won a championship,
so what are you trying to say? Like, you think Steph Curry is still like, oh, I need a Finals MVP?
Possibly,
just because people like, I've seen that's like his main criticism, right? That in the playoffs,
I think it's such a dumb criticism. To be honest,
he kind of shrinks compared to, his insane production during the regular season.
I think it's such a stupid criticism. Whenever I like think of Kobe Bryant's achievements, I don't really think, oh, how many Finals MVPs does this guy have? I don't even think, oh, he only has one MVP. I think of what he meant to the game.
Let me ask you all this: you think Steph Curry impacted the game overall more than Kobe Bryant?
Yes.
Just because all the kids are out there shooting threes and everything now?
Yeah, playing basketball at a gym now is terrible.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I've gone to my little cousin's, like, competitive AAU basketball games, and it's like, dude, every kid can shoot from freaking way past the three-point line.
Yeah, even if they can't shoot, bro, you go to a
and
gym.
they do.
They launching them. It's terrible. Nobody's playing no defense. They just walk up court and launch it, man.
So you think people underestimate, like, I know, like, for basketball people, they understand his impact, but, like, I don't think that people necessarily see Steph like a LeBron or like a Michael Jordan or even a Kobe, like a more casual person. Like, they might know who he is, but I don't think they understand like his level of dominance.
Yeah, I think you're actually like right in that regard. And I've seen some Warriors fans say that if Steph Curry was 3-4 feet taller, we'd be in discussions for calling him the greatest player to ever play. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a lie. Like,
yeah, I see that. I could see the argument, definitely.
I don't want to be bold, but I think Steph Curry and Michael Jordan impacted the game significantly more than Kobe Bryant did. But I think Kobe Bryant's impact outside of basketball was significantly greater. Like, Kobe Bryant had significantly more influence, mainly because of work ethic, hard work, and what he represented. But Michael Jordan took a fairly like, how do I say this? A fairly like not popular sport. Like, bear in mind, the finals were being played on tape delay before Michael Jordan really came around, and he made it popular. He made like the NBA a global brand. Steph Curry changed the way basketball was played, made it a little bit faster. More people are trying to replicate that Warriors formula. Kobe Bryant kind of just copied what Michael Jordan did to a T and was just ruthlessly like obsessed with his craft, which I respect and love. Like, favorite player of all time. But I think in terms of impact, that's how they vary.
I would love to see Kobe in this era. And, you know, I love Kobe and everything he brought to the game. But, man, he would have been a different beast with the game being played like the way it is now. And, he was a different beast, don't get me wrong. But he'd be even better than he was. And I would especially love to see Kobe Bryant, you know, like I said, in this era with the three-point revolution. It would be interesting to see that, you know, if he was brought up with this generation of stars, does he still go to that old school fade away, I'm gonna give you a bucket type game, or is he, you know, like Steph in it? Is he coming out from deep? Is he James Harden in it, stepping back every other play, trying to give you a three in the eye? So, I mean, yeah.
I'll always hate Mike D'Antoni for playing him 48 minutes a game and having him tear his Achilles as a result of that.
But you're fine with Vogel giving LeBron all these minutes at 37, and he's among the league leaders for most minutes played ever.
I don't really have a response to that.
Yeah, I'm like,
fine with
no
that.
rebuttal.
no rebuttal whatsoever. I am 100% okay with that.
That's disgusting.
Well, yeah, I think LeBron gets, I mean, stupid amounts of hate for who he is and how he's presented himself, like, off the court. Like, man, I mean, racist people fucking hate LeBron, bro. I mean, goddamn.
Goodness gracious, man. They got to get LeBron some less minutes. Y'all got to start resting Bron more, man. I know he's been, like, you know, out, but, like, yo, start playing this game. Get this guy's minutes down. Like, this is getting a little ridiculous here.
So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So, where do you see the Lakers finishing then at the end of the year? I mean, just based on this early season,
probably like sixth place based off of what we're doing so far.
I mean, you see them winning a ring with Russell Westbrook, or you think that's you think Russell Westbrook is just like immune to winning championships? That's how I feel. Like, every time I watch him play, I'm always like amazed, but I'm also like, what the F are you doing?
I feel like if he was to win a championship, it would be coming off of the bench as a sixth man. Cause like, and that's not to say he's not talented. It's like, you look at Russell Westbrook and he's very ball dominant. He needs the offense to flow through him. So it's either something like that, or they would need to do something very similar to what D'Antoni did in Houston with Chris Paul and James Harden, where they run ISOs for Russ and then pick and rolls for Bron, or like a combination of the two.
Russell Westbrook is one of those players where I like rooting for him, and I especially like rooting for him in his prime. But this Russell Westbrook right now, he's one of those guys that I like to watch, but I don't want him on my team, and I love Russ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you, dude. That 100% makes sense. I mean, I've watched a lot of Russell Westbrook playoff games, and like, man, when he was still with KD, I'd be watching like, why the fuck are you still like handling and shooting the ball? Like, KD is right there, he's hot, but that's just who he is. Like, you're gonna live by him and die by him, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's why I'm a little surprised that the Lakers went out and got Russell Westbrook, because it's hard for me to imagine the alphaness of Westbrook and the alphaness of LeBron being able to coexist. And alpha is definitely not the right word, but these are two guys that, you know, they got that mentality to where they want to be the best player on the floor, and they want to, you know, be the guy making that play. So, I mean, yeah, I was shocked when the Lakers went out and got Russ.
I remember that day really well. We were talking to each other a lot that day. I was like, ugh, I gotta record this, but what the fuck is going on? Like, so I wanted to ask you guys, going back to like more YouTuber drama type stuff going on. Jamari, I saw like a couple of your videos on Danny Duncan. Like, even like from the very beginning in regards to what's going on. And Coop, if you haven't been keeping track, pretty much, do you know who Danny Duncan is? So he's pretty much one of the members of his entourage that he makes videos with. Came out and like made a video accusing him of just treating him horribly, physically abusing him, taking a knife to his neck. I know some dickhead that prematurely made a video on him saying that this is how he ruined his career in like 30 seconds. And then literally after that, jokes aside, you did wait like 5 or 6 days, so like there's nothing else you really could do. There's been moments where I've done the same. It's really annoying when that happens.
Yeah, but you'll put a video like, if Mike makes that mistake within 30 minutes of the new news, Mike will have that other video out. I've noticed that.
I'll be like, I was wrong. And they're like, you shouldn't have reported. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, this is what the source said. Like, I don't have a contact with these players. I just bring you guys the news. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and I guess I was fairly unbiased in my video. So that was probably my fault.
I think you just made a video. I just made a video based on the information
I had. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that was the first situation, and now there's several girls coming out saying that he was talking to them when he was, obviously like 25, 26 years old, and they were still minors. Which I always think, like, I've seen there's no hard evidence. I just see like maybe he Snapchatted them or he added them on Snapchat, and to me, like, I get it, like, why, like, be cool with your fans, but like anyone underage, bro, I wouldn't even don't even give them a chance to like frame you for some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get how you make that type of mistake. Like, I'm sure that y'all have some people hit you up that are like not even on any weird shit, but just like you can tell they're kids, so like you don't want to be conversing back and forth with them a lot. I mean, you might say, oh, thanks, for checking my videos out or whatever, but I don't know. I always think it's weird, like, when people want to have such close relationships with their fans. Like, I just think it's a recipe for disaster.
So I saw, it's just like the timing of this is very interesting because he responded to the guy that accused him of like abusing him and pretty much blew him out of the water. Apparently it's he said, she said, but he provided hard evidence that the guy said, I'm going to start like dramas with other YouTubers and try to cloud up that way. And then conveniently you see this information. I didn't see the 14-year-old girl. Like, I didn't see that video yet, so I'm going to go based off of what you say for that. But in regards to the 17-year-old girl accusing him, that was insanity, because you pretty much have this girl that meets Danny Duncan and they, I guess, like, connected, and then he finds out that she's 17, and then immediately, like, he kind of backpedals. Like, he adds her on Snapchat and then sends her a Snapchat saying, hit me up, like, just a text saying, hit me up when you're 18. And yeah, I do think, like, you shouldn't have close relationships, obviously, with your underage subscribers, but it just seemed like this girl was, like, really out to get him, like, really, really out to get him.
You mean, like, she wanted to be with him, or she was trying, like, create the situation to where she could get him in trouble?
Create the second one, create a situation where she could get him in trouble, because it's not like, I guess I'm a little desensitized, because like an EDP situation, like, that was
that's the level where I'm like, I understand why he was deplatformed.
Yeah, like, but in Danny Duncan's situation, he was like, okay, like, look, like, I can't, if this is something we could discuss at a later date, like when you turn 18, but for now I can't. Okay. And it seemed like this girl was like trying to go out of her way to screw Danny over. I don't really know the motivation, because it didn't seem like, correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't seem to be like that predatory, in my opinion.
No, yeah, there's no evidence against him being like, oh, send me naked pictures, or like just saying some crazy shit. All the evidence is very, very loose, and it's just like screenshots that they had a conversation before, that he had sent photos via Instagram or via Snapchat or whatever it may be. But there's no type of concrete evidence of him like asking for a picture or like saying anything even remotely inappropriate, right?
At least as far as I'm aware, I didn't see the one with the 14-year-old accusing him, but in the 17-year-old case, no, I didn't see anything like that either.
Well,
So
the
it's
most
just-
suspect thing he said is like, "Oh, you're gonna put me in jail." I think that's the worst screenshot out of all of them. Did you see that?
Yeah. I guess that's like him in a creepy way implying that he is interested, I guess.
I don't know.
But
I need more context,
Yeah, I
bro,
don't know.
because I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
me too,
make the
yeah.
same mistake I made last time. And his fans are cult following. I mean, his
Yeah.
fans are aggressive, bro.
yeah. I think I think he's gonna make it out of this. Mainly because
Yeah.
he seems to be
100%.
very intelligent in regards to like covering his ass, Like
100%.
so he like it seems like he puts his business in front of everything else. Like the moment, what was that guy's name? Was it Aiden or I forgot
Aaron.
his name? Aaron. The moment Aaron like threatened him, like the moment Aaron said like he's being Suge Knighted and taken advantage of, he went to Aaron. He's like, I can't have this. Like, we can't record anymore. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah, I
Like-
don't know about that audio recording either, man. Like, I get that everyone's gonna jump on his side now, but I'm like, it seemed like they were kind of guiding him into like saying those things in a way. Like, now that I'm a couple more days removed from the situation, and like I'm looking at it more objectively, I'm kind of like, I don't know if Coop's seen that or heard that audio clip. Yeah, so like what happened was that guy was like saying he was being abused. I guess, I don't know. It's a very confusing situation. Like Mike said, it's a lot of he said, she said. And Danny has this recording where like the guy admits to that he's gonna start like starting drama to like pop off on YouTube, and they're like, "What do you mean by drama?" And I don't know. I didn't know you could record someone like that either without their knowledge. That's the other thing. I don't know. I'm very conflicted on the situation, and that's
tough,
why,
man.
like Mike said, I haven't made
Yeah.
a video about it.
That's happened in a few dramas. That recording stuff, like people recording conversations without people knowing. Yeah, I've been around YouTube enough to know like that definitely happens. And damn near every drama I've seen. This is crazy.
Oh really? Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, every drama I've seen so far, but I haven't been like immersed in that many dramas recently. So
But like, here's the thing, like, and a good example of this was your first video on Danny Duncan, right? And I'm sure you did this without even knowing, but whenever some information comes out about a specific person being a bad person, the masses just want to believe that, hey, this successful guy, this guy with a ton of followers is a piece of shit. That's just how it is. People want to believe that. So in Danny Duncan's defense, what else is he supposed to do? He needs to make these recordings. He needs to make sure that he provides evidence that, hey, this is my side of the story.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
a
I
horrible
get
human being.
him responding. I guess what I'm trying to say is what provoked him to even do that recording. Like, he must have known something was coming if he was already like meeting with him and like recording it secretly. Like, because there's a difference between, like, obviously if I'm going somewhere and I know they're recording me, I'm not gonna like say anything fucked up. So like, it's kind of, he has like an unfair advantage in the situation to me. Now if some outside party was recording their conversation that got leaked, that's different. But like, if you know someone's recording and you're trying to like get certain answers out of someone to paint them a certain way just in case this specific situation happens, that's different. Like, to me, I think maybe that guy maybe started telling someone else who's still in Danny's circle, like, hey, I'm gonna drop this exposed video, like, fuck Danny, he's a piece of shit or whatever it may be. And so that guy was probably like snitched, and then they got some backup audio. I mean, this guy has like $100 million empire here with the clothing.
Typically, like, yeah, it's so funny. You just put virginity rocks on a shirt and like,
I know,
bam,
dude.
crushing
I know.
it. Like, yeah, that's virginity rocks is him. Like,
Oh, he didn't know that? Yeah.
bro. I had
There's
no
a bunch
idea.
of people that do shit like that, bro. Like, just like 2 words and like
Yeah.
millionaire.
Or like
Yeah,
some allergic to casuals.
Yeah, some people go for 3. Bro, are you serious? I didn't know it was booming like that.
Yeah.
I bet he's worth at least 60 mil. At least. And his company's worth more.
Yeah.
These are like the shirts you see at like kiosk in malls.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he took it everywhere. I've seen that. I'm pretty sure they sell it at like Hot Topic and whatnot.
He's absolutely crushing it. The one unfortunate thing I've noticed about a lot of YouTubers that make the type of content that Danny Duncan does is like, and I've experienced this firsthand, unfortunately, is they do tend to manipulate their audiences. And, you know, going back to one particular drama that I covered in regards to a specific basketball related YouTube group there a year ago. It's just they're like one of the guys like just seemed to like straight up look into the camera, acted like he was frantically worried about his friend, you know, like very like sociopathic type of stuff. So I could at the same time, although there's no evidence of this, I could see Danny going into a situation saying, okay, my empire's on the line, you know, let me get this guy saying some stuff so I could have something on him. That way I could make sure that I cover my ass in the event that he does want to call me out for putting a knife to his neck. But I think currently where they're standing is Aaron claimed that there was an abusive contract, and Jadeon said, yo, release the contract, and they never released the contract. Am I right?
Yes. Well, and at what point do you think you reach a certain level, like especially when you're doing that type of content where it's all based on like you, to where it's like you have a bit of an identity crisis because it's hard to separate like the old you and like this new person persona you've created online. Because, you know, even like in our videos, like I'm sure you're not, even though our videos are mainly informational, like I'm sure you're still not 100% like who you feel like you are in real life, like as you present yourself online. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine having that type of brand where it's like everything is like about me. You know, the merch has my face on it. Everyone has these preconceived connotations about who I am and how I am. And I just think maybe at some point, like these people like lose like who they really were at the beginning of everything. And they just start making bad choices. They could like hurt their business.
It's so funny because like I literally said the other day to I think it was like to one of my siblings, I'm like, I feel like I'm losing my personality and like who I really am. And they're like, why? I'm like, because I wake up, I make YouTube videos, you know, then I go to the gym, then I eat, then I come back home and I sleep, you know, and like that's how it is. That's how it is every single day. And then like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, I'll like see other people. But for the most part, that's when you do that enough, you're kind of like, okay, how do I behave in front of, how do I interact with other people? You know, you kind of like lose your sense of self a little bit. So
yeah, well, you're not really a normal person anymore. You know what I mean? You're not like within the Matrix or whatever anymore. You're more like, I don't know, you're just on your own.
Red pill.
Men go in their own way.
Yeah, it's like, you're not gonna play me, bro. You're not gonna play me. I'm a high value man.
But I 100% feel you, bro. I 100% feel you on that. Like, what is y'all's day to day like? Like, Coop, what do you?
So, you know, I'm incredibly grateful for being able to do YouTube full time, but that is one thing that I do not like, is that like it's just the social aspect. Like, you know, like Mike is like a coworker to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, on a day to day, like I don't see that many people. You know, I wake up, pretty much same routine as Mike. You know, I drive to my parents' house because that's where I got everything set up at. And, you know, I had to set up an office at my parents' house. Like, I had to, or I was going to rent an office or something, because I just couldn't stay in my apartment all day. I couldn't work out of that space. Like, if I stay at my apartment all day, even if I do stuff, I feel like I'm accomplishing nothing. And I feel like I'm just seeing the same shit for 24 hours. Like, that shit it was brutal to me. And so when I started going back to my parents' house, you know, at least I see my parents, and, you know, my brother stays close. And so it just, it just felt like more alive to me. It felt like I was like more alive to be real with y'all. And so,
bro, I get you 100%. You cannot. It's so mentally draining. I mean, I'm sure y'all have both gone through this, where you're working in the same place that you're sleeping and eating and doing everything else.
Yeah,
it's, bro, it is so toxic. Like, and I did that for like 4 years, and then like I finally got this house and I have my own office here and everything, and it's made such a big difference in like just my, I don't know, my mental health, man. It's hard working where you sleep, bro. That's all I say. It's hard, and I've tried explaining it to people, and they really don't understand, because like if I just work from home, like doing something else, like on calls all day or whatever, that's not the same thing. Like with this job, it's never over. Like I don't think people don't get, you don't relax. Like you don't clock out, you don't relax, you don't. If you're on vacation, you don't feel at ease. You feel like I'm missing out on shit I should be doing.
And again, we're grateful to be able to do what we do.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
We love it. But, just like anything, it comes with its problems. And I've had like, especially with like my girl's family, like they'll be like, oh, you do that? Like, that's easy. Try doing what I do. And, like some people in her family, like, like they 40, 50. And, I grew up my whole life. Like I was a coder. I did websites, I typed like 150 words a minute. And so basically like she just like types, and I was like, oh, I could do that. That would be like so much less stressful for me. Like if I could just sit down, relax, and just type and type and type and type, as opposed to like, what I have to do right now, which is, worry about my last video, worry about how much people like me. And that's part of like why comments really get to me, because like, I got a daughter on the way. I actually haven't announced that to the podcast yet, but I got a daughter on the way.
Man, bro, yeah. Congratulations.
Like, people not liking me.
Congratulations, bro.
Like, yeah. So like people not liking me, it's like, okay, well, that hurts my family. Like I got to figure out ways to fix that. I got to figure out ways to be more presentable. And like Mike said, that's why it can become so easy to lose who you are, because you're trying to appeal the masses, and at the end of the day, it's impossible to please everybody, and a few of those bad comments gonna stand out. So I guess it is what it is in that sense, but it can definitely like be a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it just comes with the territory, bro. Like, damn.
Like, I really wish I vlogged when I was in Italy. Like, I was in Italy for a friend's wedding, and I remember every night, because like I forgot how much the time difference was, but I think it was like 8 hours, 9 hours. I remember we would go out at night, and I couldn't drink as much because, and I'm so thankful for like my team, but I pretty much had to do a situation where I recorded a video, I got it out to my team, and I'm like, all right, guys, we need this back between this and this time. Then I would be out with my friends reviewing the content, then I would have to like literally I would like take a step out, with my like suit at like these wedding events, looking at the content, like he's sending them back notes, reviewing everything, and going back and forth with them. I would have to leave in the middle of the party, go back home, upload it, schedule, title it and everything, because like 1 a.m. was like optimal uploading time for like the United States. And then I would have to go all the way back to the event, and that was my life for like 2 weeks,
Yeah, that's tough,
and I
dude. But see, Mike, you're that type of dude. Like, I feel like Mike, like, he cannot stop, bro. Like me, if I'm deciding I'm gonna take 2 or 3 days off, I'm gonna take those days off, and I'm not gonna look at my studio app. I'm not gonna let none of that stuff fuck me up. But Mike is like he told me he's going on vacation. I was like, okay, good. Like, you need a break. Man, Mike uploaded more times than I did on his vacation. You know what I mean? So Mike, you need to chill, bro. You need to chill sometimes, man.
I know, but like at the same time, it's like I just love the feeling of knowing that, hey, I'm like having my cake and eating it too.
Dude.
Like I just love knowing that like the content, like my content's getting out, we're doing good stuff as I'm like out with friends, like enjoying life. It's nice to know that my responsibilities are taken care of, and I think I feel you, bro. I understand completely. But I just think mentally, like sometimes you do need a break where for a couple days you don't even look at the studio or nothing. Like you just. Yeah. there were days like that. There are days like that when I went to EDC in October. It really just depends on the scenario, like, because I get all of my news coming to my watch. Literally, there's days where I wake up because like Shams and Woj and like, or Ian and like Adam like send me a bunch of stuff, and if not, like my brother will come to my room and frantically shake me. Like the other day, like he came to my room and shook me. He's like, Urban Meyer's about to get fired. And I like would get up. I would get up and like I see he like run a shot of espresso, like because he's really into it too. And
well, that's good, man. That's important. Yeah, that's awesome that you have someone like that.
Yeah, I mean,
well, because how many people in y'all's life like really understand what you're doing, even like within your family? Like I know they could be supportive, but like that's why like when I started talking to Mike, I was like really happy because I actually had someone who I could talk to. Like I can talk to my girlfriend about it or whatever, but she doesn't really like understand like how I feel, like how you actually feel about it. Like Mike really like got it. Like he really, you know, I mean, he does the same shit. So how many people do y'all have that like really understand like the nitty-gritty aspects of what you're doing?
Yeah, not too many. And like, at least with like my girlfriend, like sometimes she won't understand, like, yeah, technically like I could take that day off, but it's going to hurt me in the long run, and my channel might end up being screwed because of it. Like, you know, so it can be tough. It can be tough, especially. And it you know, I was always one of those guys that wasn't good with like online classes, because, you know, I need somebody like kind of telling me what to do. I need like people guiding me sometimes. So like for me to be able to like control all my own stuff, and like I have to keep myself in check, it's like a little different of an experience to me. And like I have to, and you know, at the end of the day, you got to remain strong. You can't just be taking days off consistently and taking breaks, and you know, your girl wants to go do this type stuff, and like, yeah, you can take it off and you can, but you got to focus on staying relevant, keeping your channel up, because that's what's feeding you at the end of the day and for the long term.
Yeah, and there's people trying to come for your spot all the time.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Yeah, it's more YouTube's more saturated than ever. And
yeah, dude.
It's only getting more competitive.
I think it's just important to have like a group of guys to like talk to, like bounce ideas off of, and most importantly, people that aren't like complacent and aren't just content with where they're at. You know, like even when my channel is like doing really well, and I think really well for me is like when they're both combined for 10 million views. Like even then, it's like, okay, how do I get to the next tier? How do I become better? Whose content should I study?
Yeah,
you know, like. And that's, I think that's probably the most important part. And once you get to a point where, you know, you really love what you're doing and you're really focused on trying to hone your craft and become like one of the best at what you do, then eventually that'll separate you from the rest. But having a good support group, I think, is really freaking important.
Yeah, and
I agree,
also
man.
Shout out to the people that, you know, watch us now and, you know, started watching us early. Psychology is so weird, because if you see a video with like 100 views and you see that same video with like 100k views, like which video are you clicking? You're probably clicking the 100k one. So, you know, I feel like a lot of times, you know, a lot of those early subs don't get the love that they deserve. So just a major shout out to everybody that watches, but especially the guys that help, you know, build channels. Those guys are.
Oh yeah, and they stick with you while you're like transitioning
you
through different content and whatnot.
Yeah, some people like gatekeep too, and they'll get mad if you're like, you become too popular, and it's like, oh, you changed. It's like, come on, man. You know.
Hey man, we're coming on. I think at the time we're recording this, like we're about at like 2 hours. I think this is like the longest pod we've ever done, low key. Wish Korzemba was here for.
Yeah, that would have been dope, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely need to bring you on a little bit more in the future. Jamari, bro, tell Laced Up where they can find you.
Yeah, man, just Jamari on YouTube. TikTok is YouTube Jamari. That's like my secondary platform, I would say, even though I never post on there. Jamari Speaks, Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. It was like a long time coming, and we definitely will need to bring you back really soon.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it. Really impressed by the stuff y'all do over here at Laced Up, because I know it's not easy to run a podcast that's not in person.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, bro. This was a lot of fun. Shit.
Hopefully one day we get them all to Texas, but until then.
That would be crazy. That'd be crazy. You'll have to invite me to that.
Hey, so
We're laced up, and we're out.
If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. Make sure to click on one of them. Again, I know you're gonna love it. And other than that, have a great day and peace.